Welcome back. In the daylight hours yesterday, Winford Williams caught up with an artist at Pier 1 who we suspect could make a surprise appearance on Reggae Night.
Now, Sumfest is well known for pulling not just patrons but also celebrities from all over the world to Second City, Montego Bay each year. One of the top celebrities in town right now is an artist who gave us this track.
What type of nigga slinging bang in the streets? Bad boy. What type of nigga stay in the trunk for weeks? Bad boy. What type of nigga fly letting me cool? Bad boy. Aiming from the sky.
All right, Shyne.
Yes.
So good to have you, sir. Welcome. Good to see you in Jamaica. Now, you're not on the billing for Reggae Sumfest, but you're in town. What brought you to Jamaica? And to Montego Bay in particular?
Barrington Levy, you know, he's, I share a lot of history with Barrington Levy. You know, he, if it wasn't for him, I don't know if I'd be as successful with the 2 hit records that I had.
Okay.
So I owe him a great deal. He's a legend, icon from, I was a young kid growing up in Belize and in Brooklyn. So, you know, we're working on a world tour.
Yes.
I did a performance at the Barclays Center in May, the Bad Boy Reunion show at the Barclays Center in front of 30,000 people. They shot me live from Belize.
Okay.
And it was very successful. It was very well received. So with that new excitement and new, you know, fascination with the legacy of Shyne, I figured, you know what, let me and Barrington go on a world tour.
Okay.
People want to see Shyne, and you know, he helped me make my biggest records. So why not, you know, take him along with me? So we have the Shyne and Barrington World Tour.
Okay, so when is that?
We're working on the dates right now.
Oh.
You know, we're putting everything together, and yeah.
So you're in Jamaica to give him some love, some support?
Certainly, I'm in Jamaica to see him. I'm in Jamaica. I just did a new song with Super Hype from the Diamond League rhythm. That's one of the biggest rhythms in Jamaica. And I haven't made a song in a long time. And Super Hype and Chromatic came to Belize to do a show. And you know, they played Bad Boys like 3 times. Gave me the mic. I did like 4 bars. The crowd went crazy.
Okay.
And so we kept the link. And so he said, listen, man, you got to start making music again.
Yes.
And I said, but you know, I said, you know, if I do make music again, we should make a dance hall rap album. So I want to do 10 songs with 10 of the biggest dance hall artists. And so that's how we started. So he sent me 100 songs, and finally I picked the Diamond League rhythm, and I did something to that. And you know, so we following through.
We know that you went back home in 2009, right?
Yes.
After your incarceration.
Yes.
Which was for 10 years.
Yes.
Is that why you've stopped doing music, because you were relocated to Belize?
No, you know, I explained this recently, that when you are a ghetto youth, street kid, growing up impoverished in a low income environment, community, you are living kill or be killed. I lived kill or kill. There was no option. I had to survive. I had to do whatever it took to navigate the jungles
of the U.S.
Of Brooklyn.
Of Brooklyn?
Yes, because that's why I went to Brooklyn when I was 7. Lived with my mom, single parent. And so when you are living with gorillas and lions and all types of predators, and you become successful in music, there's not a light switch that you can just go off and on to make that transition from, you know, guy in the street doing whatever he has to do to survive to artist. So I wanted to make sure that when I re-entered society, that whatever mentality I had, whatever understanding of the world that I had that led me to the actions that resulted in my incarceration.
Which was, by the way,
was completely erased. Well, the mentality that I had was, you know, kill or be killed.
Yes.
It was a survivor mentality. So someone was trying to shoot myself and Puff Daddy and Jennifer Lopez that night. So I defended myself.
Okay.
And in Brooklyn, that's what you do. If somebody's gonna kill you, you don't stand there and get killed. You know, I think it's the same thing in Jamaica, it's the same thing in the streets of Belize, it's the same thing in any jungle, in any war ground. Either your enemy is gonna destroy you, or you have to destroy your enemy. But at the same time, as an artist, as someone who's successful, as someone who has so much to lose,
Yes.
I lost everything. You know, people still love Shyne. You know, thank God, people still think I'm an icon. But I could have been so much bigger.
Oh, yeah.
I could have sold hundreds of millions of records. I could have made hundreds of millions of dollars. I could have been, you know, heaven knows.
But didn't you make some of your biggest records while incarcerated?
No, my biggest records were Bad Boy, Bonnie and Shyne.
Hot, super stopping, introduced like I'm Shyne. And you my destiny. In your diamond cluster, too much just to touch you. Perfume down to your structure. Think I wait till the second night to...
I made big records while I was incarcerated.
Yes.
The Godfather Buried Alive album was a #1 album, sold 1 million copies. So my success continued, but 1 million records in my era was not a lot.
Okay.
Nelly was selling 10 million records. You know, Eminem selling 15 million records. That's the era that I come from.
So you would have ascended, no doubt, like, just like them,
Certainly,
right?
and not just the record sales, but just making great quality music continuously.
Okay.
So instead of 2 records that everybody know and love for Shyne, it would have been 20 records.
Surfing, laying up on Persians. Here's my number, put it in your purse and call me.
On the telephone, she heard my voice. Tell me to pick her up in my Rolls Royce. If my Rolls Royce is not for ladies, then girl, I'm gonna take you in my Mercedes.
Certainly, when I came out,
Yes.
my entire focus was to make sure that my mind was right, that my state of mind was ready for this world and all of the different variables that come at you, and you have to make split decisions. I want to make sure that I would never make the decision that led me back to incarceration. So that's what I spent my time doing. I wasn't trying to be the best rapper. I
Okay.
wasn't trying to be the best musician.
Oh, it
I
was
just trying
to
make
save
sure
you.
my state of mind was right.
State of mind. So you were focusing on you
Yeah.
to make you a better person, a better
To
man.
make sure that the man I became in prison, the man that was rehabilitated, the man that was, you know, redeemed,
Yes.
that wasn't just a thing for prison. Because many people go to prison and they become born again and they become religious and they become this and that, but when they hit the streets, they go right back to the same old person.
So you had no problem going back home?
Not after it was said and done.
Okay.
Once I served my time, they were going to deport me. I wasn't going to spend another hour fighting my deportation.
But aren't you from a prominent family in Belize?
Now I am. My father grew up very poor. My grandmother, God bless her soul, Joyce Barrow, not many people know this, moved to the United States to work, to put my father through the University of West Indies and through law school, and to give him an opportunity to ultimately become successful.
Yes.
So now my father is the Right Honorable Prime Minister of Belize, but growing up, he was just, you know, getting his wings
Okay.
and just establishing himself. And you know, my mother didn't want to be in Belize. She wanted to go to the United States to find a better life and to try to, you know, do well for herself and me. And so I grew up with my mom. I'm my mother's son. You know, so that's the way it happened.
So who are you now in Belize?
Well, now in Belize, it's very interesting that, you know, everything happens exactly the way it's supposed to happen. Because now in Belize, I'm prepared to succeed my father in politics and, more important, public service. You know, to serve the nation, to lead the nation, and with all my experience in the world and all the different places that I've been, I think I'm highly equipped. And coming from the bottom, going all the way to the top and everywhere in between, I relate to people, I understand people, similar to my father, similar to my uncle. He's also a member of parliament. I'm actually going to take his seat. So it's very interesting that when I came out of prison, instead of chasing a ghost of Shyne, I just reincarnated.
Yes. So the next election will make you will be a member of parliament?
Member of parliament, yes.
Oh, so it's a sure seat for
Nothing
you?
is sure.
A sure win?
Nothing is sure, but
Yes.
my father's a 3-time prime minister. My uncle, who's the member of parliament, he's been in parliament for 30 years. My father's been successful for 3 consecutive terms.
Okay.
So I come from a very powerful background, and more important, my intentions and my actions speak volumes. As the ambassador of music for Belize, I've taken all of my experience as Shyne the musician, and I attempt to transfer that to all of the new artists in Belize.
Oh, nice.
So I work very, very, very hard trying to finance, trying to educate the artists in Belize. Tanya Carter, Unlimited, TR Shyne, Super G, all of the new artists, all of the established artists, they come to me as a mentor, and that's my national service because I've been extremely successful as a musician globally.
When is the elections?
It's going to be in 2020.
2020,
But
okay.
it's possible that my uncle will retire before then, so I could go to parliament before then.
Okay, so you, but how will you balance this with music though, politics with music?
You know, my father was the biggest DJ in Belize.
Yes.
The Right Honorable
Oh
Prime
yes,
Minister.
well you did say that, yes.
He was the biggest DJ in Belize. He was the first DJ to play a Bob Marley song in Belize. And so music is in my veins. It's hereditary. But you know, I come from the rap hip hop era where you know Puff Daddy was a CEO of a $100 million company, and he was also the producer. He was also the rapper. He was everything. Jay-Z, you know, Rockaway, Rockefeller. Now he's a sports agent. We multitask very well.
Yes.
But once I'm in Parliament, I'll focus on serving the community, serving the nation. But you know, in Jamaica, you have a minister of music. Trinidad, you have a minister of music. So certainly within the cabinet, within Parliament, there'll be a role for me to function.
What relationship do you have with the community though, the hip hop community?
Yeah, you know, I have the same relationship that I have with the dancehall community. It's one of respect,
Yes.
admiration. You know, I'm on an iconic level. You know,
Yes.
when I was living in Paris, for a few years. Drake came to Paris, he invited me to his shows, invited me to dinner. Jay-Z comes to Paris to perform. I have a greater relationship with him than I do with Drake because I knew him since 1995. We came up together. But certainly these guys would invite me to come and to fraternize and to pay respect to me. So that's a relationship. I work very closely with the vice president of Def Jam,
Okay.
who deals
Nice.
with Kanye West, deals with Justin Bieber, deals with all of the new artists on Def Jam. So I still have a relationship with some of these guys. I was just on the Bad Boy reunion, so I just spoke to Puff recently. I'd probably join them in Europe when they take the Bad Boy reunion to Europe. So there's still a relationship there.
Were you able to make your own family?
No.
No?
I need to get to that. I have a beautiful woman, that we're working on our relationship, trying to figure that out, Catherine, and hopefully.
Work in progress.
Yes.
Okay, so what all that is left, Shyne, is to look forward to what happens at Reggae Sumfest
Yeah, that's going to be exciting.
on Saturday night with Barrington Levy.
Yes.
I don't know what will
And the
happen.
Barrington Levy World Tour.
Yes,
No matter
and
what
that
happens.
that tour is for sure,
World Tour.
regardless of what happened here in Jamaica
Yeah.
at Sumfest.
And I just want to pay respects to Vibes Cartel. I remember Buju Banton as well.
Yes.
I tried to go see Cartel, but time restraints.
Oh.
I love the King of the Dancehall. I love Gaza 2.0. I love the trilogy. I love his music. Yeah.
Shyne, it was a pleasure, it is, sir, to sit and rap with you right here. I appreciate this.
Oh, but hold on, before we go, I have to big up all of the Belizean who are there at Jamaica, where they study at the
Better.
University of the West Indies.
See?
So all of the Belizean then where they study at, I want to big up on themselves.
Hi, Shyne. Thank you so much, sir.
Yes,
What a
yes,
chat.
yes.
What a chat right here on stage with Shyne. All that is left now is to see what happens at the greatest reggae show on earth when Barrington Levy hits the stage.
On the telephone, she heard my voice. Tell me.
Stay with us when we come back. The best moments of Dancehall Night.
See them.
Hey, thanks for watching our video. Well, you know, there's so much more where that came from. And all you have to do is to click, subscribe, and be on stage always.
And with your